I was at least 3 feet away from her, raising my voice, showing no discipline, but just raising my voice, saying, "See, give me my phone." If she says I'm going to sell it, well, then go ahead and sell it. That's so go get a new one. This we came back out of the bedroom in the living room. She says something to me again about the financial situation. I turned around and she punched me. I says, "What did you just effing do?" She did it again. That's when I called 911, and that's when things started to dispute between me and Miss Hill all the time.
Defendant's motion. We previously had this heard approximately a month ago. The court had requested defendant to provide a more legible copy, which she did, and I appreciate that. The court does. The court has read the motion. Both parties please raise their right hand.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you. Ms. Hill, you may proceed, and please state when you address it.
Did you take it?
Yes.
The motion that I had sent to you in revised 12-5, requesting that the court order anger management, substance abuse counseling, and mental health evaluation for Mr. Crowe, due to the incidences that have transpired during his parenting time. I've had 4 welfare checks during the time that they were in his presence for visitation, and the most recent one resulting in evidence of threats that he had made in front of the children that my daughter recorded and sent to me because they were so distraught. She called me after she had sent the text with the recording from outside of the home, where you could hear the wind blowing and the cars going by, letting me know that he had been drinking all day, had come in at the time he was screaming at them, throwing plates in the sink and screaming things. "I am not Steve. I will not do everything for you."
So these welfare checks were police called?
Yes, and I provided police reports in with my previous motion.
Okay, but that's hearsay. I need to have the police officer.
So the report is not valid, even though it was written by the police officer.
Well, it's still hearsay under the rules of evidence.
Okay, what about the flash drive evidence of the recordings that I was told I could present? Because they are recordings of what he said in front of the children and are beneficial for you to get the full impact of what they're being exposed to during this visit.
Could you provide those to Mr. Coe?
You told me that I couldn't do it until today's court date. I had
Okay,
a board.
you have them now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you want to have them review them? Then we'll recall this matter momentarily.
Well, the flash drive you would have to play.
Yeah. I don't know how to accomplish that. Do you have a computer or something?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
But I do have one for each of you, and I was told by the clerk's office that was the only way to present evidence was on a flash drive.
Right, but before the court even attempts to admit it, the other party has the opportunity to review it. I have to do that.
And that's why at the last court visit, I asked if you wanted me to hand those out so you guys would have a chance to preview them before the next court visit.
I can't do that unless it's admitted. The court cannot take information from one party without the other party having an opportunity to hear it, number one. But number two, it has to be admitted in the court proceeding first, then the court reviews it. That's the rules of evidence.
I did have it present at the last visit if that's what you're speaking of, but you did not want me to submit any of that. And that's
Right, submit it to the court, but you can share it with the other party so that he can review it.
I was not told that when I was here.
Okay, well, I can't provide legal advice. I'm just telling you the rules of evidence that apply.
Guys, a heated clash begins with a shocking twist. The father recounts a fiery altercation that set this whole case in motion.
But I did read your motion, and I clearly understand where you're coming from. And I'd like to also hear regarding the taxes and orthodontic issues.
You still want me to continue to stand for present?
Yes, please. Yeah, I've been a little lax on that, and when you're testifying, that's one thing, but if you're presenting the motion, I require the parties to stand.
So then the first motion with the anger management and the substance abuse counseling, it's not even going to be relevant today, is what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay, just so I'm clear. Okay, and as far as the orthodontic situation, I have been trying for 2 years to get Mr. Coates to comply with the orthodontic requirements that daughter L needs for her, I guess basically congenital problem because she was born with these issues in her mouth.
He won't sign the contract.
No, he will not sign the contract. I also submitted all of the information to Denise Bernovich, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She sent all of the findings to myself and Mr. Coates, as well as I sent documents with the contracts, the letter from the orthodontist stating the medical history and the necessity for them, as well as a contract breakdown, insurance coverage, monthly payment to deposit between both of us. His response back to me was that is what child support is for, and I have insurance. Even though these things were stated in the letters that they go above and beyond the insurance coverage, because yes, he does have dental coverage, but it does not cover the initial deposit. It does not cover the monthly fees. He stated he knew nothing regarding Lily having to go to this dentist, yet the letter stated she had been a patient there long before we even were divorced. So he was knowledgeable of the fact that these were issues. She was born with congenital problems with her teeth and jaw, and the only way to correct these is to have the braces put in place in hopes to bring those other teeth forward, because there are no adult teeth behind them, which would leave her with the only other option of having to have implants, which they won't do until she's done growing, and those would be around $15,000.
Tell me about the taxes.
With the taxes, that original tax judgment was based on in our divorce, was based on the original custodial and parenting time agreement. Custody has changed. With
By
child
stipulation, he agreed to it.
Yep, he agreed to it. And parenting time, which originally in the first divorce decree was week on, week off, and over breaks and holidays. That has changed as well. He usually declines any breaks when they are offered. He sees the children every other weekend, and that totals to be about 72 days a year if he doesn't forfeit any weekends that they are sick, or make up a weekend if he forfeits one, giving the kids the privilege to go to a birthday party or a special event. The children are under our care 293 days a year. So I'm asking that when he wanted to do the every other tax year rotation after child G is no longer able to be claimed on his tax form, which would be this year, he could claim him, correct me. Next year, he can claim him for half of the year because she graduates, and child Q for the full year. So he wanted to claim one of the girls, which we typically have done. He does the boys, I do the girls all along. What I'm asking is for that motion to be amended or modified due to the factors of custodial and parenting time changes, and the fact that unless it's court-ordered child support, all other parental responsibilities and obligations rest on myself and my husband.
Okay. Back to the anger management, substance abuse, mental health, all of that. That was the basis for the one child's custody to be changed, correct?
That was the start of it, yes.
Okay. Why wasn't that brought up with all the children rather than just one?
I had brought that up in previous, I had tried to get a restraining order after one of them because during one of those,
A PPO you're talking about.
pardon?
A PPO, right?
Yes,
Okay, but what I'm asking is, the same issues you were alleging regarding Mr. Coe ended up with the one child's custody being changed by agreement.
yes,
actually.
by agreement, yes.
But why weren't the other children included in that motion?
My lawyer only put child C in there because she felt that that was the sole focus of that court date, and she picked and choose what she thought that you would hear at the time.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, I know you see a lot of kids, you see a lot of things, but we had also come for an in-chambers meeting with you, just the children.
Oh, I recall.
Yes,
Evidence battles erupt over rules and fairness. The mother pushes to reveal disturbing recordings, but the judge isn't having it without proper procedure.
Absolutely.
were they-
all the children,
yeah, where they spoke about
except
what,
G.
yes, where they spoke about what situations are both during our marriage and after. These other situations have escalated through this period, and the last one is what brought me to the point where I believe that by ordering these things for him, it will make him a better parent and deal with whatever issues he has, be it substance abuse, the drinking. I don't care if he drinks on his own time, but drinking to the point of where it escalated that day it's not acceptable. And if my older son, G, was not there, the police officer was going to have myself and my husband come and obtain the kids because he didn't feel that it was a safe environment.
Thank you. Mr. Cole, your response.
Your Honor, basically that all of this has started when we had the incident with my oldest daughter, C. She got it for domestic violence. She was after her driver's training money, which you told us ourselves, don't discuss any financial situations among the children. And I told her, I said, see, this is not your discussion to be heard. She says, yes, it is, because I'm involved. I says, no, it's not. Well, anyway, she took my phone, went into the bedroom, and I followed her. And according to what Ms. Hill has on here, that I pinned her up against the wall and the dresser. No, I was at least 3 feet away from her, raising my voice, showing no discipline, but just raising my voice, saying, see, give me my phone. There she says, I'm going to sell it. Well, then go ahead and sell it. That's so go get a new one. This we came back out of the bedroom, in the living room. She says something to me again about the financial situation. I turned around and she punched me. I says, what did you just effing do? She did it again. That's when I called 911, and that's when things started to dispute between me and Miss Hill all the time.
Were you charged with domestic assault?
Excuse me?
Yes.
No. It also states there that Miss Hill said there that I spit on my daughter and pulled her hair. Now, was that a form of domestic violence if I would have did it? In my book, yes. Was I arrested? No, because I did not lay a hand on her, Your Honor, nor would I. And every police report that she has written up has to do with heavy intoxication. It's not true, Your Honor. When my kids are there with me, I'm there for them. I don't endanger nobody's life. But in November of last year, it was through a 5-6 hour span. I got home from work in the morning. My house was blowing up. Dishes everywhere, countertops a mess, wrappers from ice cream on the stands, the bathroom a mess. I said, hey, can somebody help me, please? I did what I had to do, got the house all cleaned up, and I said to my youngest daughter, Elle, I'm going to go lay down for a few hours. I'm tired. You guys can have dinner, whatever. There's food in the cupboard. Help yourself. But it says, please clean your mess up. I got up roughly probably 1 o'clock. Went out into the kitchen. People, are you serious? You're 14 years old. You're 9 years old. You know where the trash can is. You know where the soap is for the dishes. Please do them for Dad. And there was a football game on, Your Honor, that's I wanted to watch. It was the Lions. if I'm going to have a beer, which is very, very rare, when my children are there, I go out in the garage so they don't see me. But through that 5-6 hour span, the officers even asked me, how many beers did you have, Mr. Coles? I said, 3, maybe 4 at the most in a 6 hour span. So I said, I know what I'm doing. And I did say to my children,
finances, teeth, and trust issues fuel this storm. From orthodontic bills to tax claims, every word is layered with frustration and blame.
I got my rules at my house. We're going to follow them. I don't care what you do at your mother's or Steve's. My house, let's get it cleaned up. So I says, whatever you want to do at your parents', don't do it here. And that's all I said, Your Honor. Yes, I did break a dish. I was doing dishes. I had a sink full of clean dishes over on the one side. I was doing plates. I washed the one plate. I went to move it over, and it hit the faucet and broke. I don't break my dishes on purpose because I don't have that many dishes anyways. So why would I break a dish on purpose? But everything that she states in here has to do with alcohol. When we had that incident with my daughter, C, me and the officer were out in my garage. And I said to him, I said, if you believe me, and if you don't, I said, I'll take the portable breathalyzer. And he looked at me, he said, Mr. Cole.
Both can't go to what the officer said.
And he says, no, I don't have no reason.
Again, that's hearsay. I can't consider that. But, okay.
But if everything has to do with alcohol, I do not have an alcohol problem, Your Honor. I do not have an anger management problem. My anger is coming here so many times, it's frustrating to me. I want to live my life the way I want to, not let somebody else run it for me for the last 28 years, and that's what she's trying to do. She is trying to get me to sign off custody on my other two children. And I have no further questions or answers, Your Honor.
Butler.
In response to that, the police report clearly indicated that,
Talk about what's in the police
Okay.
report, because I'm not considering what
okay,
the officer said to him either.
okay. If you were to listen to the flash drive, you could hear the effects of what the children are exposed to. I understand getting upset if things are left around the house. That's part of parenting. Kids are learning. Yes, they make messes. But what is not okay is you don't throw dishes and you don't break them where something is flying to one of the kids' faces and scream about either parent. And it's been said before with one of the police reports I submitted that you want that I hate your stepfather and I wish that the
Okay,
mother.
and again, that I need to get that from the officer.
Okay. But I do have that recorded on these recordings, is what I'm trying to say. So
Okay.
to get the full impact, you would have to listen to it. No, I don't want him to not ever see his children. But by requesting this, I want him to have the tools to learn to deal with anger that he has, either from our marriage, from our parenting together. I want him to be the best parent that he can be and learn how to handle whatever issue he may have, be it his drinking when the kids are there, be it his anger when the kids are there. Because what this is doing is this is affecting them both mentally and physically. It is very detrimental for them in the long run. They don't want to go to parental visits because they don't know the unpredictability of what's going to happen when they do. They're scared. If you were to hear this, you would see why that they are scared.
The father fights back with raw, fierce defense. He dismantles accusations one by one, painting a very different picture of events.
I don't want to take the kids away from him, but I do want him to have the necessary tools, training, or therapy to be the best version of himself that he can be, because his actions mold what type of emotions those kids hold and feel inside, not only about themselves, but about what they feel when they go there. A parent's place when they go for a visit should not be a place of trauma, should not be a place of fear. It should be a safe place, and that's how they should feel when they are with him. And I don't feel at this time that he has those tools to do the things that he needs to, so they do feel that way at their parental visits. That's why I'm requesting that.
Great, thank you. Don't need to hear anymore. It's going to work in reverse order regarding the issue of the orthodontics. As far as the court's concerned, that is part of the original judgment in this case regarding medical expenses and how that's supposed to work. Didn't make any mention regarding the contract. And that's part of legal custody. The problem, though, is when it comes to legal custody and the parties are in constant dispute over legal custody, there could be a point in time where the court just says, you know what, only one parent has legal custody. That's where this may be going. But at this point, we've done this in the previous case, and I'm going to do it in this case as well. Mom, if he doesn't want to sign the contract and you wish to proceed, and it's obviously for necessity purposes based upon what you stated, I'm accepting your word, then we'll get it the other way. That is, you make the payments, submit them to the front of the court, and we take it right out of his check.
Your Honor, I do not have a problem at all with that.
You want to sign the contract?
I'm going to sign the contract, but it's what's got me angry and a little bit upset. I never knew anything about these dentist appointments. I was never called for an invitation at all.
Okay, we then either I'll require you within. Do you have the contract today?
Yes, I wrote a copy for everybody.
Excellent. We'll hand him once we.
His was sent to him when I had to resubmit the new email, and I gave that to Alicia. He should have received that through the
You have
mail.
it, sir?
No, I didn't really
Sign that.
I did not bring that with me, Your Honor.
Sign that. Then that'll take care of that issue regarding.
I do have an extra copy that I had for the clerk's office. You can use that. I have one.
Doesn't matter. Whatever works for the orthodontist is fine. For long as that. Second issue regarding the issue of taxes. There was a stipulation regarding that. I understand the custodial environment has changed by Mr. Coates' own stipulation. He agreed to it, but that doesn't change the agreement. That motion is respectfully denied. Relative to anger management, substance abuse, mental health, and all of that. The court takes judicial notice that the parties have a volatile relationship, have for years. And I wouldn't say years. I think when the divorce was entered, the court took the proofs, and to be honest, when the parties were completely separated, and then Ms. Hill meets another individual, they get married. We have a PPO in Tuscola, we have a PPO in Huron. The volatility between the parties, amongst the parties, including Ms. Hill's husband, is off the chart. And so the volatility has been there for years amongst all the parties. And I don't need to hear the audio. I can hear it from the parties. Just the animosity and the just sheer anger these parties have between the two of them. And it's unfortunate because it rubs off on the children. So it appears Ms. Hill's argument focuses on the consumption of alcohol. And what the court is going to do, rather than these tools, the court is going to make it very simple. 8 hours prior to and throughout the entire parenting time, Mr. Coate is not to consume alcohol of any type, no controlled substances, unless duly prescribed at any time. I'm not saying he is. However, by ordering that, and if it's discovered and proven in the court that that condition is being violated, then hell hath no fury, as far as the court's concerned. No more alcohol at all. I don't care if it's 4 beers during a Lions game, that doesn't make a difference. 0. So, all other motions, though, will be denied except for the fact that no alcohol. The taxes we've addressed, the orthodontics we've have addressed as well. And I can understand the frustration, Mr. Coate, of having to come back into court, but the tempers have to come down. Also, it is troubling to the court. And like I said, I spoke to all the children. You folks are blessed to have these children. But it appears that the children are getting in the middle as well.
The mother makes one last emotional, urgent plea. She insists on therapy for him, not custody loss, in a desperate attempt to protect the kids.
And as a result of them being in the middle, where they're actually allegedly recording something that's going on in the house. Mr. Coate, if it is true that you're making these statements, it doesn't serve any purpose. All it does is drive a wedge further into these children. And then they're going to go to mom's side and say, Mom, guess what's going on? Guess what's going on? We come back into court.
And this is exactly what's being done, Your Honor.
Well, it's done both ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's done both ways, and it has to stop. When you have the children, very simply, you have the children, you be the good father you say you are, you take care of those children, you provide them guidance, support, everything you need to make them better people. With no alcohol involved, I think that's going to go a long way. On the flip side, when mom is bombarded with all of this, it just brings up that animosity more and more and more. Ruling on all issues. That's how we're proceeding now. The orthodontic bill, has that been signed? You have a copy for a signature?
It's right here. He would need to sign and date it, and then he would need to take care of his own deposit through the orthodontist where they provided a number, as well as his half of the monthly payment would have to go directly to the orthodontist.
Okay. And regarding that, if he doesn't pay it, and you pay it, submit that bill in front of the court, and they will gladly make sure you get reimbursed for it.
Can I ask, will it be at 7% reimbursement or the entire amount?
That's gonna be through the front of the court.
Ortho is like any other medical expense, it's shared for the percentages of the court order at the time those receipts are submitted. Once that contract is signed off, please turn a copy into our office. So that we have a record.
Please. So by doing that, they have records and they can enforce it.
I'll give him this, or he can reach out to them. They will send him a DocuSign for him to sign his portion, or he can make his deposit and make his half for the monthly payment as well.
You still use Applos, correct?
Yes, I have Applos on my phone, correct?
Okay. What I would do, give him the documentation that he needs. I would provide that information in the Applos instruction so that he clearly understands what that is, and then you've done your due diligence.
My next question is before you rule on the tax years. When you have us rotating, would I be the odd or the even years, just so I know that for my own tax purposes?
Whatever the order states. I don't know what the order states.
That's I'm on the odd years, Your Honor.
Whatever it may be.
So
The order, you'll have to review the order. And I also may add regarding this issue of the alcohol, anger management, all of that, that was going on regarding, frankly, all the children, but the primary focus was the eldest child. And by the lawyer's strategy and just presenting on one, it should have been addressed all at once. But that's not my call. That's what the attorney did. We're done. I'd like to vote.
You want your copies of these documents as well?
Don't need those because he's signed. Thank you.
So just show me my contract then, Your Honor, that I can keep, or it's gotta be turned into a friend of the court, because I want to call this orthodontist myself, and I want to find out.
Call the
what's going on.
orthodontist yourself and follow through with that. But if you have a question regarding, send an Applos message to Ms. Hill.
If I'm gonna get on the phone today, and I'm gonna call the orthodontist, and I'm gonna set up everything it is I need to do with a payment, and it ain't gonna go through the friends of the court, I'll just send it right to the orthodontist.
Well, however it needs to be done to make sure that those obligations are taken care of. Good luck.
The judge drops a no alcohol bombshell ruling. It's the decisive moment that seals the case. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel.